Good morning, everyone. This is Amit Pabari, founder and managing director of CR Forex. In our last week video, we discussed the view on Euro USD pair. So, a lot of exporters and importers were asking what is the view on GBP USD. So, in today's presentation, we are going to discuss what is the view on GBP USD and what is the outlook on dollar rupee pair. In order to make view on GBP USD, let us see or understand what are the factors which is going to impact UK economy. Let me show you an interesting data point. The first chart is of GDP of UK economy. If we see the chart, you will be able to understand that UK economy is facing no growth kind of a momentum. In quarter 3, it merely grew by 0.1% as compared to 0.3 in quarter 2. As you have seen that growth is stagnant. The another problem in the UK economy is higher unemployment level. Unemployment level have reached to a 4-year high, currently at 4.8 to 5%. That is also a negative indicator for UK economy. The third important problem in the UK economy is Amdani Atani Kharcha Rupaya. If you see the chart, their fiscal deficit is rising and the government needs to borrow at the highest level what they have borrowed during COVID in 2020. Now, in order to control the fiscal deficit, they are contemplating two ideas. Now, with rising fiscal deficit, the problem is that UK government have to pay a higher amount of interest on their bonds because the bond interest rates are rising. Now, UK government have two options. First option to control the fiscal deficit is to raise taxes. If they raise too much of taxes, the bond market will perform well, but the growth might come down. If they do not raise taxes, then fiscal deficit problem will continue because there is no growth in the economy. As a result, bond investor will lose confidence and the pound might get further weaker. So now the UK economy is in vicious circle. Weak growth is giving you falling tax revenue. Now falling tax revenue needs fiscal tightening or increasing the tax rate. But if you do that, future economy will suffer. As a result, weaker growth will happen. Now let us discuss technical outlook on GBP USD. If you see the chart, from the chart, it is very clear that GBP USD is trading in a downward trend and 1.32 remains a strong resistance for GBP USD. Ideally, GBP USD is likely to move towards 1.2950 to 1.30 kind of levels in coming days. Now let us discuss outlook on rupee. If Euro USD and GBP USD both are going to get weaker, it is a clear-cut indication that dollar index is going to move higher. So from the current level of 99, we are expecting dollar index to move towards 101 to 101.50. Now there is a definitely a question in all exporter and importers mind that if dollar index is going to move higher, then rupee should ideally move higher. But in last 6 months, when dollar was weakening, rupee also moved from 86 to 88. So we can say that currently both are moving in a different direction, and in the current rally, dollar index might move higher, but rupee might not move that much higher. So we can conclude that the stronger dollar might not always lead to a weaker rupee. Now the second important factor for dollar rupee pair is FII flows in Indian equity market and debt market. In the calendar year 2025 till now, FII have sold close to 16 million from Indian equity market, and they have invested close to 7.5 billion in debt market. We continue to expect that FII will invest in debt market because of interest rate differential. Once the trade deal between US and India is signed, then we are optimistic that flows in equity market will also come and it will support a dollar rupee pair. If we see the fundamentals of Indian economy, like stronger growth, lower fiscal deficit, lower inflation, lower REER, and active management by RBI. These are all indicators or giving us a signal that the biasness of the pair is towards appreciating side or a stronger rupee. Once 88.40 is taken out, ideally the pair will move towards 88 to 87.70 kind of levels. Till the time the pair is not giving us a breakout or breakdown, it is trading in a consolidation range between 88.40 to 88.80 kind of levels. Be alert once the range is taken out. In either side, the momentum of 75 paisa to 1 rupee can occur, but the biasness is on the appreciating side. With this, I will end my today's presentation. Jai Hind, Namaskar, फिर मिलेंगे next week. Thank you.